Hey, welcome to the show. So your school has done something that they weren't supposed to do, or your school says that your child can't graduate because he or she's on the verge of being expelled. The next thing you know, it's a segment on tonight's Give Me a Break. You're kicking, you're screaming, you're getting frustrated, you want to vent your frustrations, you want to get Alyssa Lamb to make you do some dishes at 4 o'clock in the morning. Terrible joke. But in all seriousness, think about this first story. Imagine this. Imagine this first story here. Imagine this first story. You're a student who claims that her school won't let her walk on the graduation day because of some issue like being expelled or something like carrying a knife. But then you claim the accusation is false, but the school says something different. Tonight, you're going to meet that student who says something different. Why wouldn't she walk the stage during graduation, and what was going on? Let's take a look.
As her sister recovers, Emily says she was going to walk in her place and says their caseworker told them they would make it happen. Emily says her sister, Sarah, was supposed to graduate from Muhlenberg County High School on May 22nd, but due to a traumatic brain injury and several broken bones from a car accident, walking across the stage is out of the question.
What is your parents and your other siblings' response to all of this?
They're very upset. Very upset. And they also don't understand why. My mom's very hurt by it.
She says walking across the stage was something her sister was looking forward to for a long time. She says her sister used to love going to school.
She was a big part of the school. She loved the band. She loved the color guard. She loved going to school. She was never late. She got up on time.
As Sarah recovers, the family says they made plans to have Emily walk in Sarah's place.
And I asked her, I was like, would it be okay do you want me to walk for you? And she said yes.
She says they organized it with their caseworker, who told them she was in contact with the school. She thought everything was set in stone until recently.
We were told by the principal it wasn't going to happen. And later, they told Zoe, which is her other sister, the reason was because they didn't do something for a boy who had committed suicide 2 years ago.
Emily says it feels like putting salt into the wound.
They did say somebody that was graduating couldn't walk for her, but I don't know who would walk for her that is graduating, other than a friend could, but I don't see why it would hurt for her family to walk for her graduation.
We have reached out to the school about this and are waiting to hear back. Reporting in Muhlenberg County, and Powell, Eyewitness News.
I mean, it's something that your child wouldn't even think of, right? Walk the stage of graduation because of an injury. Well, that's exactly what would happen, right? Well, possibly not because, the school's like, we couldn't do anything for this person right here, but we're not going to do it for your daughter. So, tough. It shouldn't be tough, It's like, hey, we're going to do something for the boy that committed suicide. What if we're not going to do something for your for your sister's brain injury? It's like this. The school is picking on the child, which they should not be doing. In which they shouldn't be doing in the first place, picking on somebody. And do you know why? Because it is wrong? That's right, it is wrong indeed. It is wrong indeed. And this for a talk show like this, everybody would be up in arms saying, what's your excuse for, what do you think about, what do you think about something like this? One person would say something like, this, that, and the third. But, if we had erased some common sense, the moral to this would be, look, We know that your child wants to walk the stage of graduation, but I mean, it should happen. Principals should be helping them out, not throwing them under the bus and putting more salt on the wound. They should be helping out the kids, the child, not sitting there allowing shit like this to happen. Because if it did, we wouldn't be here talking about this, and that daughter would have filled in for the injured child, or the guy who committed suicide, or the person that committed suicide. One of the family members who's 18 or older would have been able to walk the stage, or the parents would, and then to honor their sister, and to honor a family member. Remember the movie Mulan, where Mulan's father wanted to go to the army, but Mulan's like, no, I'll go. Well, it's the same thing like Mulan. It's like Mulan, but it's different. I mean, to compare the hero of China to something like this, it's dishonoring the family. And that's exactly what the school did. They dishonored the family by not allowing that to happen. We'll let you know what happens on a future episode. Alright, going on to graduation. Just weeks before there was a senior who wanted to graduate, but he was on the verge of being expelled because of a weaponry. We'll have that story for you. Still to come, internet pirates. They're all over. We're going to have a Leslie Shaw story and show you some internet piracy ads, because as the summer approaches, people are stealing movies by downloading them for free instead of paying for them. Stay with us. Okay. Think about this next story. It was weeks before graduation. You're ready to go graduate. It was 2 weeks in. You're ready to go. You got your cap and gown. You got your nice shirt on. You get on your cap and gown. You're ready to go. You're ready to get your diploma. And you're ready to go out there and get a full-time job. But think about this. You accidentally bring a weapon with you. A fishing knife. You tell your teacher that you actually had a weapon. She knew about it, and she knows. Then imagine you're going to a board meeting, and the board decision is, we're going to expel your son because of that weapon, because that zero tolerance weapon. You're angry. You're frustrated. You make a petition. Everybody signs for it, signing the family and the son. It's exactly what happened. At Bellefonte Area High School, a student was being expelled because he had a fishing knife. A fishing knife. He brought a weapon to school, and does the punishment really fit the crime? We'll have you decide. Take a look.
The Domino's Mix and Match menu gets you all of this for just $6.99 each.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. New jobs, new projects with quality tools from Harbor Freight. We've got the savings to start your new year off right. So come celebrate.
Backlash in Bellefonte. A high school senior there was set to graduate in about 2 weeks, but instead he has been expelled. Classmates and community members say the school board's decision was not justified, with a petition reaching more than 3,000 signatures. Our Tim Durkin tells us about the situation.
A lot of us students agree that was not the right call.
Karen Clarkson is a senior at Bellefonte High School. Graduation is right around the corner for her, but not anymore for one of her peers. She says a fellow senior accidentally brought a small fishing knife to a field trip at the county courthouse. According to her, that student realized his mistake and willingly gave up the knife to a teacher. That incident came before the school board at their most recent meeting, and they ultimately voted to expel the student.
He had his wallet on him that day and just totally forgot that it was on him. And it was just a mistake, and I don't think the school board really thought about it very well.
At that meeting, the board offered little explanation for the decision, only saying the district and solicitor used discretion, and the recommendation to expel the student was consistent with previous rulings. But was the action too heavy-handed? Clarkson and over 3,000 people on an online petition think so.
fully ripping him from his graduation that he only gets to experience once was pretty absurd.
She thinks some discipline was necessary, like maybe detention or suspension, but she says the board's decision went too far. She and others during public comment at the board's meeting fear this sets a bad example for future incidents.
Like, I go into school, I accidentally have something on me. I feel like I can't tell a trusted adult because now I'm afraid that doing the right thing, I'm going to get in trouble myself.
The district put out a letter to the community Friday giving an overview of their Act 44 weapons policy. In it, they note that possession alone is enough to potentially expel a student, regardless of intent. They also said the superintendent can recommend changes to the 1-year minimum expulsion requirement on a case-by-case basis, and there is no zero-tolerance policy. In Belfont, Tim Durkin, WTAJ News.
In more news tonight, the principal.
And there's common sense that needs to be raised here. Even though there's backlash going on, over 100 comments were posted. Let's take a look at one of them. Let him graduate. But not saying graduation. That would be a better alternative. 2 weeks from graduation, that's rough. That's school board G's, private school or homeschool. Goes to the honesties or rating. If it is going to be punished like this, that is the lesson you are teaching your kids. You only get far in life if you lie. Not fair. They definitely deserve to graduate. It's ridiculous. He made his mistake. I mean, he admitted to the mistake. Yes. But which side do I side with the school? Absolutely not. I side with the student. He accidentally brought the weapon. He said, "Hey, Mrs. Puff, I accidentally brought a fishing knife on me, blah blah blah," and yet it would have been taken care of. The teacher would have reported it. She would have taken care of it, and bada boom, he would have been able to graduate, good to go. But 2 weeks in, expulsion, it's like you taking away your freedom to graduate. Act 4 policy, I mean, that's what all parents care about these days, is zero tolerance drug policies and literacy. Why can't Johnny read? But old times, when we had zero tolerance policies, it's like, school board zero tolerance policy. Anything that can be used as a weapon is weapon. And the principal's hands are tied at this point. If you showed a little bit of tolerance, you wouldn't call it zero tolerance. And it's basically not that simple here. Let him graduate. It's 2 weeks in. He should have had a fight. Give him detention. Put him in school suspension. Let him graduate. Don't expel him or suspend him. Don't give him out of school suspension. Put him in school suspension. He'll have some time to think about it. Put him in detention after school or in the morning for about 120 minutes to 60 minutes to 9 minutes. And maybe then he'll learn about, not to bring a weapon to school. It's just as simple. Are you going to movies? So we'll look into this and we'll let you know what happens in a future episode. Are you thinking about going to the movies? What if you were to realize that someone's stealing your favorite movie? Internet pirates. Next, Leslie Stahl has a story on internet pirates, and we're also going to show you some internet piracy ads, because those ones are the ones that could really bite you in the butt when it comes to stealing movies. So there's Hollywood, there's a lot of people that make the movies, and a lot of people steal movies. So please stay with us. Welcome back. Are you thinking about going to the movies this summer? Or just sitting back at home watching Netflix? Or buying your favorite ticket to go see that movie? Which is the same as question 1. What if I were to tell you that all the people that make the movies, Hollywood is worried about, people stealing the movies. Those are internet pirates, internet piracy. Those people steal those movies. And not just that. They steal the movies, put them on the internet. You can download them for free as soon as the movie's released on your computer, and there you go. You're watching the movie. We just told you about this on freeloaders. You know, website called Napster. You can download music for free. You can watch movies for free. You don't gotta pay a cent. I mean, we also talked about on YouTube to where, you know, if you want to watch your favorite movie, your favorite episode, you gotta pay like $20 for each season. I mean, I bought all 4 seasons of Superboy for just $20 each. So that's $80 total. But it was worth it for all 4 seasons of Superboy. So, can anything be done to stop the internet pirate, to stop the pirates on the internet? Here's Leslie Stahl.
The people running America's movie studios know that if they don't do something, and fast, they could be in the same boat as the record companies.
What's really at stake for the movie industry with all this piracy?
Well, I think, ultimately our absolute future.
Peter Chernin runs 20th Century Fox, one of the biggest studios in Hollywood. He knows the pirates of the internet are gaining on him.
Do you know how many movies are being downloaded today, in one day, in the United States?
I think it is probably in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
And it's only going to grow.
It's only going to grow. Somebody can put a perfect digital copy up on the internet, perfect digital copy, right? And with the click of a mouse, send out 1 million copies all over the world in an instant.
And it's all free. If that takes hold, kiss Hollywood goodbye. Chernin recently organized a summit between studio moguls and some high school and college kids, the people most likely to be downloading.
And we said, let's come up with a challenge. Let's give them 5 movies and see if they can find them online. And we all sat around and picked 5 movies, 4 of which hadn't been released yet. And then we came back half an hour later. They found all 5 movies.
Even the ones that
Even
hadn't
the ones
even been
been
released?
released yet.
Did these kids have any sense that they were stealing?
It's a weird dichotomy. I think they know it's stealing, and I don't think they think it's wrong. I think they have an attitude of, it's there.
Are you hurt?
I think God did it.
This internet copy of the hit movie Signs, starring Mel Gibson,
Cut.
was stolen even before director M. Night Shyamalan could organize the premiere.
The movie was about to be released. When did the first bootleg copy appear?
2 weeks before, 3 weeks before.
This is serious.
Before the internet age, when somebody bootlegged a movie, the only outlet they had was to sell it to those vendors on Times Square where they have the boxes set up outside, and they say, hey, we have Signs, it's not even out yet, and you walk by and you know it's illegal. But now, because it's the digital age, you can see like a clean copy. It's no longer the kind of the sleazy guy in Times Square with the box. It's just, oh, it's on this beautiful site, and I have to go click.
There's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
How did those movies get on the internet? How did that happen?
Through an absolute act of theft. Someone steals a print from the editor's room, someone steals a print from the composer who's doing the music. There's absolute physical theft. Steals a print, makes a digital copy, and uploads.
And there you go.
Digital copies like this one of The Matrix Reloaded have also been bootlegged from DVDs sent to reviewers or ad agencies, or circulated among companies that do special effects or subtitles.
The other way that pre-release movies end up is that people go to, there are lots of screenings that happen in this industry. People go to those screenings with a camcorder, with a digital camcorder, sit in the back, turn the camcorder on, and now it
And
is.
record it.
Let go the anchor!
This is one of those recorded off the screen copies of Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. Not great quality, but not awful either.
Keep to the guards, I the code.
And while it used to take forever to download a movie, anyone with a high-speed internet connection can now have a full-length film in an hour or 2.
Well, this is just one of many websites where basically people, hackers if you will, announce their piracy releases.
Randy Saff runs a company called Media Defender that helps movie studios combat online piracy.
This is the Kazaa Media Desktop. Kazaa is the largest peer-to-peer network.
It's called peer-to-peer because computer users are sharing files with each other with no middleman. All Kazaa does is provide the software to make that sharing possible. When we went online with Randy Saff, nearly 4 million other Kazaa users were there with us, sharing every kind of digital file.
Audio, documents, images, software, and video. If you wanted a movie, you would click on the video section, and then you would type in a search phrase. And basically what this is doing now, it is asking the people on the peer-to-peer network who has Finding Nemo.
Within seconds, 191 computers sent an answer. We have it.
Did your man deliver, or did he deliver?
My man delivered.
This is Finding Nemo. Crisp picture and sound. Downloaded free from Kazaa a month before its release for video rental or sale.
Now, what's the one thing we have to remember about the ocean?
It's not safe.
That's my boy.
Where movies make the bulk of their money is on DVD and home videos. 50% of the revenues for any movie come out of home video and
50%.
50%. So that if piracy occurs and it wipes out your home video profits, or ultimately your television profits, you're out of business. You know, no movies would get made.
Even if movies did get made, Night Shyamalan says they wouldn't be any good because profits would be negligible, so budgets would shrink dramatically.
Slowly it will degrade what's possible in that art form.
Technology always wins. Always. You can't shut it down.
Wayne Rosso is Hollywood's enemy. When we met him, he was running the file-swapping service Grokster. He has since taken charge at another similar company.
Okay, I have downloaded your software.
Right.
Okay, did I pay to do that?
No, it's free.
So who pays you? How do you make money?
We're like radio. We're advertising supported.
And how many people use Grokster?
10 million.
10 million people have used it.
A month.
A month. Every month, 10 million people
And growing.
use it to download music, movies, software, video games. What else?
I would assume. See, we have no way of knowing what people are downloading.
That's just a fig leaf. You are facilitating, allowing, helping people steal.
We have no idea what the content is. And whatever.
Well, you may not know the specifics, but you know that that's what you're
And we can't stop it.
Yeah.
We have no control over it.
But you're there for that purpose. That is why you exist. Of course it is. Come on. This is the fig leaf part.
No.
He's totally comfortable with putting on his site a stolen piece of material. Am I wrong in that? Like, if my movie was bootleg, he'd be totally comfortable putting it on his site.
He says, I have nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
right. So
He says, I just provide the
immediately,
software.
how can I even have a conversation with him? Because he's taken a stolen material and he's totally fine with it passing around in his house all this illegal activity. So I mean, it's just my house. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Come on, chill out.
But it's Rosso who has the law on his side. A federal judge has ruled that Grokster and other file-swapping networks are not liable for what their downloaders are doing.
So we're completely legal, and unfortunately, this is something the entertainment industry refuses to accept. They seem to think the judge's decision was nothing but a typo.
The studios are appealing that court ruling, and they may follow the music industry and begin to sue individuals who download movies. And they're fighting the pirates in other ways.
With your support,
We'll all keep on working.
With ads about people whose jobs are at risk because of the piracy. People like the carpenters and painters who work on film sets.
She gave me such a thought.
At the same time, Hollywood is trying to keep copies of movies from leaking in the first place.
You will very seldomly go to an early screening of a movie right now where probably you don't notice it unless you're paying attention. Someone's not in the front of that auditorium with infrared binoculars looking for somebody with a camcorder.
And once a movie's released, or copies do begin to leak, the studios hire people like Randy Saff to hack the hackers.
what we're just trying to do is make the actual pirate content difficult to find. And the way we do that is by, serving up fake files.
It's called spoofing. Sapp and his employees spend their days on Kazaa and Grokster, offering up thousands of files that look like copies of new movies, but aren't.
So if I had clicked on any number of those Finding Nemo offerings, I could have clicked on one of yours.
or somebody like you. And what would I have found after my hour and a half of downloading?
It might just be a blank screen or something. And, you know, typically speaking, what we push out is just not the real content.
What you're trying to do is make this so impossible, so infuriating, that people would just throw up their hands and say, it's just easier for me to go rent this thing, buy the DVD or whatever. It's just easier.
Right.
That's your goal.
Right.
Does that work? Is that
No.
a good idea?
No, it doesn't work. I mean, I don't blame them, but it doesn't work because what happens is that the community cleanses itself of the spoofs.
He means that downloaders quickly spread the word online about how to tell the fake movie files from the real thing. It's like an arms race, isn't it?
That's exactly what it's like. It's like an arms race. There will be, they're going to get a step ahead. We're going to try and get that step back.
But I'll tell you one thing. I'll bet on the hackers.
That they'll break whatever
The
the
studios come up
companies
with.
throw at them. Hollywood knows that downloading off the internet is the way millions of consumers want to get their entertainment. And that isn't going away.
The generally accepted estimates is that more than 60 million Americans have downloaded file sharing software onto their computer.
60 million.
At 60 million Americans, that's a mainstream product. That's not a bunch of college kids or a bunch of computer geeks. That's America.
So instead of trying to stop it entirely, the studios are looking for ways to embrace it, but get paid too. Wayne Rosso says the best way is to negotiate some kind of licensing deal with him.
If the movie industry acts now and starts exploring alternatives and solutions with guys like me, hopefully they won't have a problem.
What if they tried to buy you?
I'd sell in a heartbeat.
You would sell, Grokster would sell to a movie studio.
Sure, call me.
The idea of making deals with what Peter Chernin calls a bunch of crooks doesn't appeal to Hollywood. Instead, Fox and the other studios have just launched their own site, MovieLink, where consumers can download a film for a modest fee, between $3 and $5.
I think you would love the idea that you don't have to go to the video store, you can do this. And that's what we're working on. But in order for that to be effective, we have to stop piracy, because the most effective business model in the world can't compete with free.
The movie studios may begin to file their lawsuits against individual downloaders before the end of the summer. Oh, and M. Night Shyamalan's new film, The Village, it premiered on July 30th. The first bootleg copy of the movie appeared on the internet the next day.
So how do we stop this? Simple. Do not download. Now with the digital age of now with the internet going on, you can download your favorite movies. But if you want to watch them on YouTube, there are some movies on YouTube that say free with ads. Go for it. Watch the movie free with ads. There's also TV shows on YouTube that say free with ads. Just watch the ads. You buy music. It's just $1. I paid $1 for Chris Young's new song. I could buy the album for like $9.99, rather than paying $10 at $12 at Walmart. So that's the thing. Downloading films is stealing, and if you do it, you'll pay the consequences. When we come back, we're going to show you some internet piracy ads that maybe you will get. That maybe you'll think about the next time you download a movie. We'll be right back. Stay with us. So we're talking about internet piracy. Those internet pirates, those pirates that steal the movies. It costs Hollywood a lot of money. Now, before the internet, there was also a thing called video cassettes. Those pirates that would just steal it from the movies, and then the movies that you got from a pirate would be turned into a good living room. You want Superman? The only way you can get that is illegally by a pirate. So, how can you tell it's a pirate? Here's Harry Reasoner.
Grease, box office smash. But some pirate has managed to get it transferred from film to videotape. The Boys from Brazil. Hollywood worries that illegal tapes of movies will cut into theater profits now and into television release later on. Heaven Can Wait, Warren Beatty.
I'm dreaming, huh?
What's at issue here is the illegal use of someone else's copyrighted material without permission or payment. For the pirate, the profits can run into the millions. We set out to learn just how the hot film and tape market works. Producer Paul Lowenwater and cameraman Bob Peterson picked one out of dozens of video showrooms they could have gone to in New York City. Adwar Video on Lower Fifth Avenue. We saw their ad in the New York Times. Lowenwater and Peterson, with our hidden camera, came to pick up copies of Grease and Star Wars, which they had ordered on a previous visit.
This is the Star Wars then, and this one is the Grease, parts 1 and 2. Okay, fine.
Now, how are we going to pay? Do I want separate bills on the same bill? Cash, after charge? Separate. Okay.
Do you have any luck with Superman?
Not yet. My person hasn't come back yet. I'm thoroughly amazed. Usually they say it, and then they turn up like 3 or 4 weeks later with it in their hands. So all of a sudden they look up and here they are. So I haven't given up hope. It's actually a standard operation.
And that'd be the same $40 a cassette?
Sure.
Thing?
Sure.
Yeah. You call them training tapes, huh?
Everything is illegal.
I'd love to look at that illegal list again,
I'll
by
wait
chance.
for you in just 1 minute. Let me read the change.
The illegal list grew longer each time we visited, as more current titles were added. Where do they come from? Well, from somewhere within the film industry itself. Some employee will sneak out a print overnight to be duplicated by a pirate. Even a theater projectionist, lending one reel of a film to a pirate while the rest is being shown in his theater. It's almost impossible to protect a film against pirates. Technicians and stars, and yes, film executives, and yes, employees at television networks and stations all have access to films.
Back here. Yeah.
Producer Lowenwater wanted to check the quality of the tapes he had bought at Adwar Video. And he was led past the video cameras and recorders, which are the major part of the business, to the back room where the illegal copies are made. Star Wars, illegal on videotape. This copy, which we filmed later, was sold to us for $50. In its heyday, pirates were getting $500 and up.
Do you have a turning point? My wife would like that.
I got it. I think, but it's not very good.
Not a good copy?
No, there's too much of a buzz in it.
Yeah. So, and the other one was Heaven Can Wait.
I got that. I'll show it to you. It's not a great copy, but you can be the judge if you want.
Whether I want that or not. Yeah. These are masters then, not,
yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
The masters are Adwar's permanent tapes, from which copies are made for sale.
No, it's not super crisp. And see, there's some a little rollover on it. Yeah, that's like a wrinkle.
Yeah. Well, did you get it on cassette or do you get it on film?
No, we got it on cassette. If it were on film, it'd be better than that.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. 2001, Towering Inferno.
This little library does not belong to pirates, but it used to. It's now in the hands of the FBI. This is Homer Hap Porter, who runs the FBI's anti-piracy squad in Los Angeles.
Star Wars. Where would this have come from?
We obtained that during a raid that was a little over 2 weeks after Star Wars had been released to the public.
You certainly got the titles.
We have most of the major titles that have been produced within the last 10 to 15 years.
Piracy, as it is now and as it could be in the future, is a cancer in the belly of the film business.
Jack Valenti is head of the Motion Picture Association of America, the trade group of the major film studios.
Mr. Valenti, have you got a guess as to how much piracy costs the film and tape industry?
It is difficult to measure precisely because one never knows how much business you're losing. Estimates range from 100 million up. But the point is that it is there, it is rampant, and unless we can get a hold of it alongside the police forces of the world, it can cause serious injury to the body and soul of the movie business.
Hollywood sees every new video recorder as a threat to its pocketbook. Thousands of potential customers flocked to this first national home video show in Los Angeles a few months back. Every machine can copy. Every copy means dollars lost in royalties not paid and tickets not sold. Several movie companies are trying to thwart the pirates by selling some films on tape legitimately. But right under Hollywood's eyes, here was Battlestar Galactica, recorded illegally off the air by somebody, being shown as a come-on by distributors of big-screen television sets. Galactica was filmed for ABC television by Universal Pictures, which told us it has not given anyone the right to record it on video cassette.
But you or I could do it, using the new technology that is running away with the law. Here we are with more than 1 million new videotape recorders expected to be in American homes by the end of the year, and a copyright law that says that taping off the air is technically a violation. And Sony, who makes recorders, has now been taken to court by Universal Pictures and Disney Studios, who contend that the very existence of this machine is what makes copyright violation possible. They would like the machines limited to playback only, no recording. Sony contends that Congress knew about home recording when it wrote the new copyright law and never intended that home recording should be prosecuted. That case will take months, and the decision will ultimately affect us all. Meantime, the FBI tells us that it is not about to spend money prosecuting individuals recording for their own use at home. But when a dollar changes hands, they want to know about it.
But in the beginning, as they say, there was just film, and then there were film collectors, and pretty soon there were film pirates to feed the film collectors. Tom Denahue owns Thunderbird Films in Los Angeles, selling legitimately to collectors now. But Denahue used to be a pirate.
What did you get charged with? What was the major work of art that brought you?
Major work of art that I got charged with, and actually, we can joke, it's beach blanket bingo with Annette Funicello. Hey, which one, one of the beach films, rock film, whatever at the time was, evidently some people still want it. And that's what I got charged with. But what they didn't get at that time was maybe 100 or 200 negatives. I didn't keep them there. They didn't even know about it. They didn't do a very good investigative job. I could teach them a few things. They wanted to put me on payroll.
From then on, you went straight.
No, I went straight. Hey, I gave them all my negatives. Every negative that I had that was not quite legit to have, I gave it to them. And then I continued in the business of finding things that are in public domain.
What kind of contacts would you need if you decided to go into the pirating business again?
I've been offered film by thieves that work at different laboratories, projectionists, film collectors that know projectionists. A lot of things get thrown away in the trash cans, and hey, there's not a trash can out there around town that doesn't have a film collector lurking under it.
Again,
I've been offered film by thieves that work at different laboratories, projectionists, film collectors that know projectionists. A lot of things get thrown away in the trash cans, and hey, there's not a trash can out there around town that doesn't have a film collector lurking under it.
I have a list which came in the mail of films available. There are 2 or 3 classifications. There are approximately 200 of them. Airport, Bonnie and Clyde, Blazing Saddles, Day of the Jackal, Frankenstein, Earthquake, The Exorcist, Emmanuel, which I'm sure was not yours, Jaws, Love Story, Patton, Rocky. It's still easy to get them when you want them. They told me in Los Angeles anything I wanted I could find within an hour or two.
Well, Mr. Reason, I could give you a list this high of the busts that have been made by the FBI, prosecutions by the U.S. Attorney's Office, and for the first time in the last 6 months or so, and increasingly in the years ahead, they're going to jail for 1, 2, and 3 years, as well as heavy fines. It is no longer a playpen, where it used to be you would be caught for piracy, given a slap on the wrist, fined $250, and before you had a chance to get your money out of your wallet to pay the judge, you were operating again before the day was done. We're going to prevent that. That's going to be a thing of the past.
But Jack Valenti, his film Security Force, the FBI, all admit they catch less than 1 pirate out of 20. Piracy is not just a 1-cassette, 2-cassette business. Take Houston's Televideo Corporation. Houston's Televideo is not related to other televideo corporations around the country. Federal lawmen say Televideo Houston was perhaps the biggest pirate in the region, if not the country. But how it got into piracy tells a lot about a dog-eat-dog business. Leaf through an oil journal, and you would find this ad for Televideo. Licensed distributors, it says, and it began that way. The market was tanker crews at sea for weeks and months at a time, and drillers and roughnecks on platforms all over the world. Tens of thousands of separate locations. Their companies eager to provide stateside entertainment to keep up morale. Televideo went after that market with a legitimate contract to distribute Universal Pictures on video cassettes. It seemed unnatural. Televideo's owner is Ralph Smith. Back in 1975, he thought he would make a fortune leasing those movies. He wanted us to know that it didn't take long for him to learn that he could not compete with the pirates.
On my third sales call. The first two I sold.
How did you find out about it?
The company that called me asked me to come down and talk to him about providing services to an operation in South America. He asked me how current my material was, and I said, well, it's very current. We have The Sting here with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. It's a 1974 release. We have The Execution of Private Slovic, which is a world television premiere. It's a 74 release. Very current material. He said, no, I mean very current. And in theory, they would throw a TV guide across my desk and say, this is the material we want. That's illegal. And the answer would be, well, thank you very much for your time. And you'd never hear from him again.
The odd twist is that long before the FBI raided Smith, Smith had gone to the FBI to try to crack down on piracy. These photographs are of a suspect Smith was dealing with on behalf of the FBI, trying to make a case against him. No arrests were made. And in the meantime, Smith says his customers were insisting on getting illegal material. What do?
You cooperate.
And that cooperate
Well,
implies...
when you're in Rome, Harry, you do as the Romans do.
Last September 20th, the FBI raided Televideo.
Ralph, I've got some voluminous material here, which I guess is the inventory of what they took out of your shop in the raid. And one page has a listing of auto racing, Barbara Walters, Gene Kelly, Austin City Limits, Red Fox, Ben Vereen, all of which would seem to be television programs.
No, sir.
Not things you got on license from Universal.
That's correct.
So this material was there.
Yes.
That would have been part of the technically illegal or competitively necessary thing.
It would have been.
The film business is now warning the oil business, some of Smith's former customers, in trade journal ads that piracy means heavy fines and a term in jail.
When you tell an oil company, or let's just say a multinational corporation, that you can't do it, the next question is why? And because they feel the same way that I feel about it, if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. If no one will do it for them, they will do it themselves. And they are doing it themselves. Now, if it's illegal to take a program off the air, then why does the U.S. government permit these machines to be imported into this country? Why do networks like your own advertise these commercials on television? If a consumer can do it, a corporation can do it. What is the difference between 100 people out there in television land taping a program off the air or me doing it for 100 people? The end result is the same. You still have 100 copies, don't we? The fact that I charged a fee, does that make it illegal? The fact that I do it commercially, does that make it illegal? Or the fact that I make a profit at it?
We remind you, the law says it is a violation to copy for profit or personal gain. As of now, Ralph Smith has not been indicted. Meantime, our own look into piracy at the retail level was continuing in New York. Producer Lowenwater and cameraman Peterson were asking Adwar Video's owner, Sam Adwar, whether he had been successful in the search for Superman. Adwar said he'd been offered Superman for $1,000. Said suppliers line up maybe 30 or 40 dealers like himself, deliver copies to all of them the same day, make $30,000 or $40,000, and disappear until next time. A few weeks later, I went down to meet Sam Adwar with cameras in the open.
Okay. I'm Harry Reasoner from 60 Minutes. We're doing a story on the selling of films and tapes that are unauthorized and publicly violated copyright laws. Adwar and Harry Reasoner, 60 Minutes. And my producer, Paul Lowenwater, came in and bought
3, 6 cassettes. Grease. With no problem at all. Boys from Brazil. Animal House. You sold them. Where does this stuff come from?
I really can't say. I really can't say. It's many sources, I guess.
How many operations like yours in the New York City area? 100?
Well, there's got to be at least 100. And now we have every consumer dealer is doing that on the side too, I'm sure of it.
Why do you do it?
It's a hard, it may be, I really, it's something hard.
Is it a favor for people?
Well, it started as a favor. It started out, people wanting that, hey, we have, going back many years ago, like Deep Throat, they would come. Okay, everybody wanted to see Deep Throat, and I got myself a copy, and before you know, a couple of friends asked me for it, I made them a copy.
You would think of yourself as a legitimate businessman, running a nice business, making a little profit.
Right.
But you're technically flirting with a felony, aren't you?
I guess so, right.
The film business is trying to tell the public that anyone who buys an illegal tape is dealing with a criminal. But the public appetite for tape material is creating a demand that people in the business find hard to resist. Here's proof. This copy of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, like a lot of films, was on cassette on the illegal market even before the film opened to theaters last year. And finally, Superman. We eventually managed to get this copy from a pirate who may or may not be raided one day. But we'll leave that story to Clark Kent.
So now you get the picture here? It's all about piracy. And if we could stop those, Hollywood would save a lot of money. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Finally, if you look up piracy is a crime, videos, variants, a playlist like this would pop up. And not just that, it would show you, which we're not going to show you these ads because I don't want to get, what's the word? I don't want to get demonetized for this. But here is one from the It Crowd.
Customizing.
It's like this. That's just showing you an example here. So here's the bottom line for y'all. If y'all want to watch your movies, go to the theater. Go buy them on DVD or Blu-ray. Buy the movies. Don't steal the movies for free. You can lose a lot of money, and you could be looking at going to jail. That's all for this edition of Game Break Friday. We will see you again for finale week. We'll see you again after Memorial Day. So that's all for this edition of Game Break Friday. We'll see you again for Game Break Wednesday. Follow us here on YouTube and give me a break. Stop bullying, speak up. Concentration, not strength. No jaywalking. And as always, please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.